What's up, guys? Welcome to the Chuggin. Josue here. I'm a guitarist from the Dominican Republic, and I like to talk with musicians as well as listen to modern metal music. So today we have our third episode with the one and only Clayton King. So we're talking about an amazing player, producer. I mean, the dude is the whole package, and I'm beyond thankful and blessed to have him on this podcast. It's truly an honor. And yeah, let me know what you think about this episode, and do not forget to subscribe, comment, and share it with your friends. So yeah, enjoy. So yeah, it's pretty hot too, but it's like tropical. I mean, I guess I'm trying to give the vibe.
Dude, I love the shirt. You know what? I messed up. I've got one of those too. I should have sorted mine.
Thank you, man. Yeah, whenever you come, we can just like match.
Oh, down.
That would be so cool.
Let's do it.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, I was actually talking about that with Clint, because yeah, there's like a lot of rock and metal dudes that love to vacation on here. Like I actually saw like the old eras guitarist Sean.
Love Sean.
Yeah.
Sean. Yeah.
That dude is freaking amazing. I remember I saw him. He was here. I was like, dude, you're in my country, right?
Oh, did you guys get to hang out?
We didn't get to hang out because it's like 4 hours or something like that. And we didn't know each other. I was just like a fan girl, like, oh, you're in my country.
I did that the first time I met Sean too. I just fangirled over him. I wouldn't shut up. I was like, dude, I love you so much.
Yeah, dude.
Roomed together at NAMM a couple times, and he's the best. I love that guy.
Yeah, dude, I love him too. Like, the way he played, man. I love the leads and all the stuff he does. Like, it's really cool.
Super creative player.
Yeah. And yeah, dude, so yeah, I cringe myself when I look back to the messages we had.
Dude, I do that all the time. There's been I'm not gonna name names or anything, but there's been people that I've hit up in the past for sure that I didn't remember hitting them up. And then I go back and we're just like friends now. And I'm like, oh my God, I was trying to show him like songs. Like, dude,
Yeah.
man. And I was like a teenager and I was like, oh my God, it's so embarrassing.
Yeah, dude. So I could cringe that myself. Like,
It happens.
yeah. Yeah. So, dude, I don't want to get into like already into memes and stuff, but dude, what's with that turtle in your garage or something? Like,
Man, it is a beautiful day to be a fucking snapping turtle. What the fuck are you doing in my driveway, dude? That was crazy, man. So I was recording up here and I heard my wife like screaming. I was like, oh God, what's going on? So I run down. Dude, she's throwing sliced cucumbers at the snapping turtle. Like, I think she thought it was going to make it go away, but it was just feeding it, I guess, and it was just chilling. Dude, that thing was like, no joke, like this big though. And,
oh my God.
I kept trying to like, move it, get it out, but I think he chilled there for like 2 days, just chilling on our driveway. So normal Texas stuff.
Yeah, that was going to ask you, like, is that what I'm expecting when I get into Texas? Like, is that normal?
I mean, not really. Like we have a bunch of land by us, and so there's like a little pond that a lot of them crawl out of sometimes. So, but I mean, we get coyotes and javelinas and all sorts of stuff out of here. But yeah, he was chill. It was fine.
Yeah, that was so random and so funny, dude. Like, what?
I know, man. I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah, dude. Like, if you have that video there, you can send it to me because it's hilarious. I want to add it to the video. Just crazy.
Dude, I definitely will. I will send that to you right after this.
Oh God. So, have you always lived in Texas, or?
Yeah, man. Born and raised. Well, okay, that's kind of a lie. I was born in Missouri, but I moved down here when I was like 2. So most of my life has been in Texas, but I love it down here, dude. Like, food is amazing. Weather is hot all the time, but that's okay. And people are super nice, and it's cool. Like, every band I talk to loves coming down to Texas. The music scene's awesome, or was awesome in certain spots, and I love it, man. It's what. Have you ever been?
No, I've never been to the States, actually. Like,
no way.
No.
We got to get you down here. You know what you should do? You should come to NAMM next year. You should come down. and hang out with all of us. We normally get like a little crew, and
Yeah.
yeah, dude, you're more than welcome. We'd love to house you and all that. I know it's kind of expensive, but it's
Yeah.
time.
Dude, that would be honor. Yeah, I mean, I would love to. I believe my friend's father goes to every NAMM show. Like he lives here, and he shows me pictures and videos, and it's like crazy, dude. Like I would love to be. It's like a candy store for a musician.
Dude, it is so. It's like it's the most overstimulating experience I've ever had. Every time, like first day, I'm like, yeah, NAMM, let's go, and then like you see everything, and there's so much shit going on, and people, and like. It's so weird. Like, have you ever been to a party and you kind of know somebody? You're like,
Yeah.
hey, what's up? But you don't really remember the name, and you do that awkward thing. It's
Yeah.
that every 30 seconds for like 4 days, pretty much. And
Wow.
it's so weird, but it's a good time. I normally go not for the show, but like the hangs
Yeah.
and stuff after, you know.
Yeah, sure, man. I mean, I would love to have, imagine like an episode with a bunch of musicians or something like that. That would be cool.
Yeah, dude, it's good for that stuff too. I know people love doing that. Like last year, you know, Kian, who's
Yeah.
like sick guitar player.
Yeah.
He roomed with us, and he was doing like gear talks while we were at the Airbnb, which was funny. Like we were in the garage, and he was
Yeah.
doing one with Aaron Marshall. So it's really good for stuff like that. Yeah, you should definitely come in. So
Yeah, for sure, dude. I would be honored. I mean, with music, like, how did it all happen? I mean, was it something since kid, or have you always gravitated to guitar, or?
man, I got super lucky. I was really blessed. My dad played music his whole life, and then was like a roadie for a bunch of big bands, and sick bass player. And
Oh, really?
oh yeah. I mean, he played in a bunch of like '80s bands, and
Oh, wow.
he was awesome. So anyway, when I was growing up, he kind of quit playing, you know, to be a dad, kind of do that whole thing.
Yeah.
But when I was probably like 10 or 11, I picked up like a really shitty bass. I still have it, actually. It's in that case. But a really shitty bass, like $100 bass or something like that, and just started playing on it. And then I found it and just like fell in love. So he kind of taught me a little bit. And then I was like, you know, I kind of want to play guitar. And he hooked me up, got me, I mean, classic story. I got like a really cheap Strat, you know, like a really shitty one. I just started learning on that. And yeah, dude, just like in high school playing in hardcore bands, and then in college, like touring with metalcore bands.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I've just been playing since I was like 12 or 13. And yeah, I don't think I had a choice really. It's like I did, but like my dad, that was kind of like his thing. And
Yeah,
so
of course.
I just thought it was so cool. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go do that. That's what I want to do. And yeah, just been playing ever since I was a kid.
Wow. What a story, man. Actually, I relate a lot to you because I started with bass too.
Let's go. Bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bass crew, dude. Like so the more you talk, like the more I relate to. Like we have so much stuff in common, bro. Like
So for you, if you started on bass, how long did you play bass before you were like, okay, guitar is like a cooler move?
It was a couple of years, man. Like I remember I was like, what, 12, 13 years old until I was 18, 19. Yeah, like
Nice.
I was playing bass like till 2021 or 2022. Like it was recent that I just
Oh
switched.
shit.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Well, you made it farther than me. I played for like a year, and I was like, man, I kinda
Oh,
suck at
okay.
this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude, I will always love to play bass. It's just such a cool instrument to learn, and it's just different, you know. Like I really love to get, you know, like in groove and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like I used to play bass, and the way I changed to guitar was like, okay, I need an instrument to compose, right? Like I need, because you know that there's different instruments to compose, like piano or whatever. But I was like, nah, I'll go with the guitar, you know. Like this is what I like. That I started to watch, you know, typical kid, you know, Polyphia, all that. So I was all into it, you know. Also like nu metal, like Slipknot. Started to listen to all these bands. Metalcore. I mean, that's why I'm a fan of you. So I'm a metalcore guy since like from the roots, you know.
Let's
Like
go.
I really yeah. So yeah, talking about influences, like what are some of your biggest musical influences? Would you say?
Oh man, it's weird because like I don't really listen to a lot of heavy music anymore. But I'll kind of back up. I did a bunch like when I was a late teenager and like early metalcore, so like Old Parkway Drive, August Turns Red, Kill Switch. Kill Switch is like the biggest one. That was kind of early on, and then I discovered like early Periphery, like P1, P2.
Oh yeah.
Old Monuments was like a game changer for me because I think before that I was like, I didn't really know you could write songs focusing on like rhythmic elements as much as they did, you know?
Yeah.
And then I went down that whole rabbit hole and early Polyphia, all that kind of stuff. But now it's totally different. Now it's like Tears for Fears and 1975 and all these like pop kind of synthwavy bands.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to blend both like, okay, cool, let's do the heavy thing for sure, but try and make like memorable melodies and cool production layers. And I don't know if I'm doing it yet, but I'm trying to get there, you know, melding good songwriting and then really cool riffs and stuff. So I think recently it's been way more pop bands that have been inspiring me.
Yeah.
But early on, it was like all the, you know, metalcore classics. And then early on, I don't know if you've heard of this band, but like Human Abstract, like early MySpace days, dude. If you haven't, you got to check them out. That band changed my life because I heard, forget the name of the record, but it's like the first record they did. And it just like blew my mind. From then on, I was like, okay, I want to do this. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So after this, I'll send you some links. They're such a sick band. So cool.
Yeah, send it to me, dude. I would love to check it out. I love to listen to new bands. Talking about new bands, man, I mean, your band, so it begins too. I don't know how the face of the earth. I've never heard to. I saw you. I started to watch your videos. I was like, what is this band? I never heard of it. I'm a Miracle guy, and I know most of Miracle bands. I felt like it was like I found a treasure, you know, like that scene from The Hobbit, like yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. To be honest, we were really active in the early 2010s, and I was just a kid. I was like 18. They used to have to sneak me in the shows because they're all older than me, and I was the youngest guy by like 10 years almost. And so I have X's on my hands that I have to go wipe them off and get on stage. But we were pretty active early on and touring and all that kind of stuff. And then we took like a pretty long break. We all, you know, got families, they got kiddos and like real jobs and stuff. So like the past probably like 5 or 6 years, we haven't done a whole lot of anything. And like 2 years ago, we were like, you know what, let's do another song. Let's do some more stuff. And so we're just kind of starting to crank out some more music. But I appreciate it, man. It's cool. It's a nice project to have. And none of us are like too serious about it. So it's just at our own pace, which is nice. Yeah.
I love that, dude. Yeah, just take your time. You know, life goes on and you know, responsibilities get on, but that's life, man. And I really have a lot of respect for, I mean, any musician that plays in the band, you know, and they got to have their normal lives, but, you know, still play with that passion. Always, man, I respect a ton of that. Like that's just...
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, so so you've played with, so it begins, but actually what I saw mostly from like watching your stuff was like touring for Nothing Nowhere, is it called, right?
Oh yeah, dude. And that was such a weird experience, amazing experience. Like I'm beyond grateful. But I was a fan of Joe Nothing Nowhere stuff like back in 2014 or 15, like his first EP. I was a huge fan, been hooked ever since. And we didn't know each other at all. And so what happened was last year about this time, actually, this is like 1 year since this happened.
Really?
I was working an engineering job the whole time. I'm a mechanical engineer and was doing automation. And stuff like that. So I've been doing that for 7 years up to that point. And I finally was like, you know what? I think I'm going to try and do this full time. So I put in like 2 weeks, which ended up being like 6 weeks, but I put in my notice. And that day, like an hour after, Nothing Nowhere hit me up on Instagram. It was like, hey, dude, huge fan of your stuff, been following you for a really long time. Do you want to tour with me? And I mean, I was just like mind blown because he's one of my favorite artists, and it was just so cool how that all happened. And so I literally quit my job, learned the songs in like 2 weeks.
What?
Flew up to where he lives in Vermont. We did like a week of rehearsal, and then I was on the road for like 3 or 4 months, and crazy. But yeah, I'm so grateful for that experience, and he's just like the coolest. The whole crew's just amazing. So it was awesome, man. It was really cool, and I'm excited for the next one and the new stuff he's doing. Should be sick.
Yeah, dude. Like since I saw your stuff and your playing and your videos, that's super cool that you tour with them and yeah, actually I love their stuff too. I heard them before when they released that single with Underoath.
Yeah, let's go.
Venom, right?
Yeah, dude, such a good song, and like that whole album is so cool. It's like he did the metalcore meets new metal thing.
Yeah,
and it's like such a sick record, and being able to play those songs is like super cool. So yeah, it was awesome, man. It was a really cool experience, and thank you for the kind words. It's like it means a lot, for real.
Yeah, dude, I love his lyrics. Like, it's really emotional, and how can I put it towards it? It's amazing. Like, it's really catchy and really up to that emotion. He's really every single word, like he says, like you can tell like where he's getting that from. You know?
Oh, dude, he's such a like 360 artist is what I like to call it. Where like people are like, I'm a good guitar player or I'm a good songwriter. A lot of people don't know this, but like he went to school for like filmmaking and cinematography. So he's like an incredible cinematographer. He does a lot of his own videos. He's, you know, anytime he puts something out, he thinks about like the whole aesthetic of it is like, you know, the album cover, the vibe, what the videos are going to look like, the certain instruments used in the song to like so it's like, I admire him a lot because I try and think of stuff the same way of like, think of everything, you know, give your audience no excuse not to like your stuff other than their own taste, meaning like make sure the video quality is as good as it can be, the artwork, the art direction, the production, you know what I mean? Like director, that's amazing. Exactly, that's a good word for it, and he's got that mindset. So people like that I admire so much, and he's, you know, and he just went independent, so now he really is like doing all his own stuff. So it's pretty sick. Yeah, that's super sick, man. I really have tons of respect for them and for you, like playing for them. I would love to see you guys play like live one day. That's I've never, just for you to know, I've never been like in actual like big concert or anything like that. Like here we have like a metal scene, but it's like really restrained. Like there's not much action and motion to it. Yeah. But we're trying to revive it. Like I'm forming a band too here. Nice. That's awesome, man. That's the way to do it. Yeah, man. Like that's the only way to do it, right? Like you have to. Everyone needs to support each other so the scene can grow, right? Yeah. No, that's the best way is to make your own music, support other local artists, and get other people to do that, and just kind of build it up. But yeah, if you ever come to the States, well, if you come to NAMM too, I will make sure we go to a sick show. We'll go to a nice big metal show. It happens every year. They normally schedule a sick one around that time. And yeah, I'll pop your metal cherry. It'll be awesome. That's you blushed me. Oh yeah. Let's go. So what drink do you get now that I see you? Yeah, here, let me do my little advertisement real quick. Yeah. This is called Spindrift. Dude, it is so good. Now, I might have put a little bit of vodka in here, but okay. It's just lemon water and like lemon and sparkling water. Okay. And then I put a little bit of vodka in there, and it's very good. I've got a couple on deck because I don't know how long we're gonna be going, but I am ready to go, dude. So it's good. Just try it. Yeah, I will. That's crazy, man. So I wanted to ask you, like, you know, with this podcast, and I mean the idea behind it's more for the, you know, educational
like type of audience. I'm trying to give some value because I talk with lots of musicians, and I mean I've always done it, and I just felt like guilt or I felt like I was being like selfish. So I was like, I need to share this with someone else, whoever's in the world.
That's cool, man. I respect that a lot. And like, I listened to your first 2 episodes with Raoul and Clint, and like, I love both of those guys so much and respect them. So like, I learned a lot listening to both of them.
Yeah.
Raoul's such a incredible songwriter, and the fact that he can output at the level he does, and he's like, it blows my mind. It's very intimidating because I don't upload very much, but he's so consistent. And then Clint, on the other hand, is so like multi-talented, and he's probably too humble to ever say this, but like, he's a big reason why I got into video in the first place. Like, he's a massive reason. Yeah. Back in like 2020, during the pandemic or whatever, I wasn't in video at all. Like, had no experience or anything. And it's kind of a long story, but the apartment I was at had really bad EMF, like noise coming in. There was like a transformer right outside that they wouldn't fix. So I was having all these kind of issues, and I couldn't record guitar. I couldn't like play through an amp, and I was losing my mind. So I was like, I gotta pick something else up. It was like a hobby to, get my creative outlet going. And so I was like, well, I'll do video. And right when that happened, I saw Clint's videos on YouTube, and he like stood out to me because like his quality and like the editing and post-production stuff is like next level. So I hit him up. I was like, hey dude, love your stuff. I'm trying to get into it. What would you recommend for like my first kind of buy? So he got me hooked on like a certain piece of gear.
Oh yeah.
And just from there, I took off. But yeah, he's a huge inspiration. So like, listening to him on your podcast was awesome. He's killer and sick player. I mean, guy is phenomenal.
Yeah, man, for sure, dude. I mean, those dudes, they're so versatile. Like, it's scary to me. Like, I mean, that's why I invited them, because I know they will, they will deliver. Like some good shit, man. That's crazy. So yeah, it's interesting that you say that. Like how he influenced you, because it's all like I would say like a circle, like how would you say that in English, like
you're right, like a circle, like I don't know a better word for it, but I think I know what you mean.
Like it all like round on this inspirational and motivational, let's say I never know like how to put into words art, because it's such a subjective thing, right?
Sure.
You need to be like careful, like how you want to express it. Like I'm learning a lot from you guys, so I appreciate it a lot. And what I wanted to tell you is that you and Clint have inspired me so much to not give up of me playing guitar and recording myself, because dude, it takes so much knowledge, experience, to be able to record yourself so it looks good, so it sounds good. It's almost impossible to me, or it was almost impossible, but now it's not, thanks to you guys. Because I was like, when I saw you guys playing it and I see those videos and I see the quality and the work you put behind, I'm like, dude, this gives me inspiration. It's not like the opposite thing. You understand? Like that's all I get from you guys, and I appreciate it a lot. You guys are,
well, dude, I
pretty big guys to me. Like, would say professors or
I wish I was a professor.
I wanted to say like how this movie Shifu from like Kung Fu Panda, master, like
Kung Fu Panda, let's go. No, I appreciate that a lot, man. And yeah, it's like, I feel like people don't always realize how much goes into like a really good video, because not only do you have to get like lighting on point, get all the lens choice down, and then whatever you're recording, like brass strings, everything's completely in tune. Programming drums, bass, all the other layers, mixing, mastering. It's like, dude, it's so much. And yeah, I mean, like I was really kind of overwhelmed when I got into it, because there's so much to learn. You got to be proficient at mixing and producing and video stuff. And it's just weird, you know, like 10 years ago, you just had to be sick at your instrument. But now it's like you have to know just enough of everything. And now, like, that's almost not enough. You know, you kind of have to find something that differentiates yourself just a little bit to stand out. It's tough, man. It's cool that everybody now has the tools to do anything they want, but everything's really saturated. So you have to be proficient enough and then find, you know, kind of your niche or like whatever you do best. It's tricky, man. It's definitely tricky. Tough.
Yeah, dude, but I appreciate it. Like when I see you guys, I'm like, damn, dude, I just wanted to do that. I wish I could do that. I try my best. So that's why I created this podcast. So I can get like support from you guys and to other people that feel the same way. You know, it's super saturated out there, man. And so talking about that, like if you saw like someone new, maybe someone who listens to your music or watches your videos, or sees you as a touring musician, like what advice would you give them, like to get at that level?
Man, great question. I would say to actually put in the practice, and I'm not talking about like, okay, practice your instrument, but I mean, if you want to be better at making videos, the best way to do that is to make a lot of videos. And I fell into this trap. I know a lot of people do, but like you kind of get paralysis by analysis, meaning like you go in, you watch a bunch of YouTube videos, you learn a whole bunch of stuff, and now you have all this info. But I feel like people aren't like making enough things. Same with mixing. Like, you know, you watch a lot of videos on here's how to mix, but like you haven't mixed a bunch of songs that aren't your own too. It's like, you're not going to get better. I kind of equated to like weightlifting, right? Like you can watch a bunch of videos on like really good form and everything like that, but like until you put that in practice, you're not retaining a lot of that. So that would be my advice, is like do more stuff. Don't just learn and intake. That's great, but like make sure that you're actively, you know, practicing those things until it becomes innate in you. And I feel like that's what I see a lot. You know, a lot of younger kids or people getting into it are really focused on gear or, you know, learning exactly what to do. And that's great. But like at the same time, you need to be practicing those things, like making videos, even if they're bad. Because I want to be honest, I'm not super proud of them, but like I've been making videos since I was 13. Like, wow. And I don't think I was proud of any of them until maybe like 2 years ago or 3. You know what I'm saying? But I've made hundreds, maybe thousands of videos, and same with songs. Like I've made so many shitty songs and so many riffs, and you just have to put in the time and keep doing it. That'd be my advice, is actually do those things, like actually mix stuff, actually write songs. And they're not going to be, I don't know, you could be a phenom, but they're usually not going to be like super great in the beginning. But after a while, you'll kind of, you know, find what you do best.
Yeah, man, that's right. I'm guilty of that, you know, too. You know, watching a bunch of videos and then like doing nothing. Like, what's that? Like, you're just getting your mind stuff and you're doing nothing about it. Like, so that's why I started like making videos, and just a couple like in my feed, but I'm trying to get more into it. I'm really into.
By the way, your stuff looks great and it sounds great. So like you're doing really good. Like it looks and sounds killer. I was creeping on you before this, and it's really good. So, keep killing it.
Thank you, man. That means a lot. I try to do my best because it's lots of work and you know, man, gear, technical stuff. Like, I mean, we experienced just something like before.
Always something. Started. Dude. Always something.
But you gotta keep up. Like that's bad and good days too, right?
Oh yeah, and that's part of it. You gotta be a good problem solver. Like, you can be a sick musician, but like in everything, you have to learn how to problem solve pretty quick. Because like whether you're on tour or you're in a studio or you have a band or you're doing your own stuff or filming, it's like there's always something, you know, that like you're not going to expect, and you have to learn how to like calm down through all the things. And it's just
for sure, man. For sure. Yeah, dude. So started, like making videos, or started to get interested in making videos and playthroughs and all that. I believe in the pandemic 2020, and because we were all like in our house, and it was like, I mean, what I'm gonna do? I have to learn something. I was like, I'm gonna watch these dudes play and shit. I was like, God, man, so much work. But after that, then just 2 years went by, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, I need to start like making something. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just not going to start caring about the result. That's just like what you just said. When you start to care about the like what's gonna be like, then it's like, what's the point? Like, what's the process? The learning curve, right? Like, you're just shortening it down every time. You're never gonna step up, right?
Dude, that's such a good way of putting that. And yeah, it's like, I think if you have the mindset coming in of like, okay, this is gonna suck, and to make one video is gonna take me like this amount of time, but next time you get better, it's this amount of time, and then this, and like, look at somebody like Raoul. It's like he's so dialed that he can knock stuff out every couple of days, and it's just looks immaculate, sounds killer. But I'm gonna go ahead and speak for him. I know it's true. He's probably made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and that you can see it in all of his work, that he's put in the time to.
He's the best example, dude.
Exactly. I totally agree.
Yeah, I feel the same way, dude. Actually, I've been following Raoul like before he was like thousands of followers or something like that.
Oh, really? Sick.
Yeah. I was just watching this Asian dude like playing, and his like me just like in his whatever bedroom slash studio,
Yeah.
And it's such an inspirational dude, because like he's saying, he made such a big a change and impact. I believe that's why a lot of musicians like love him and respect him, because he is got to every time like step up with everything he does. Like, I just love him. I love to talk about Raoul because he's just such a charismatic, humble guy. You don't find that like everywhere. Like, not to, I don't want to mention people, but like,
trust me, I completely agree with you. And the reason I think I love praising him is because not only is he, an amazing musician, songwriter, producer, I mean, all these different things, but he does it and did a lot of that in a super small space, like a tiny room, not a lot of crazy gear at all. He's just using the tools in front of him, and there's like no excuses ever. He's just like, I'm going to kill it every time, regardless of what I have. And it's so cool, man, because you get a lot of people that are like, oh, I don't have this camera. I don't have like, this amp or this guitar or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's just like, fuck that, dude. I'm just going to make the coolest shit ever. Like, I love
That's true. That's fact, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I don't know if you remember, I talked to him about this. Like, he inspired me to buy this guitar. Like, there's a Harley Benton guitar.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like he plays a lot. I believe 90% of his guitars are like Harley Benton. Like, they're definitely not expensive guitars. And when you see what
sound great, they all
sound
killer.
Killer, dude. And when I saw that, I was like, what's what's this excuse, right? Like, right, man. So dude, so you're a producer?
That's actually my full-time job now, which I don't advertise very much, because I'm booked out pretty far and very blessed to be. But so I produce for other bands and ghostwrite, songwrite, kind of help do all that stuff. But I love it, man. I mean, I hope that I end up being kind of known as like producer first and guitar player second, because not like, I heard this podcast with Spiro Ducius and Wes Howe, which I don't know if you know them, both the most mind-numbingly sick players in the world. They were talking about this idea of like, practicing guitar as the church or whatever, right? And so every time that you're producing or mixing or something, you're taking time away from the church or practicing, right?
Yeah.
In my mind, I'm the flip side. I don't practice guitar ever, unless it's like I'm writing something, but that's not my goal. I don't really care about being like the sickest guitar player. I want to be like the sickest songwriter, producer, all that kind of stuff. For me, like, you talked about it earlier, guitar is my way of composing. Yeah. And the easiest conduit to get my ideas out. Yeah. And I love it for that. But I definitely would want to be like I think I'm a producer first, songwriter first, guitar player second. So yeah, I don't know, kind of weird.
For sure. No, I totally get it, man. I feel the same. I mean, I love to play guitar. I'm a musician too, yeah. But of course, I love the composition and the production behind it, of course. So yeah, like I said, you're a producer. So we've made videos, so we can call it like videographer or filmmaker, whatever these kids call it today.
Sure.
But you're a photographer too. Like I've seen.
That's my other main gig, which I also don't like really advertise either. But yeah, I've been doing photography professionally now for like 2.5 years, and I've done a lot of album artwork and
really
commercial work and stuff for bands, and I love it. That's my other huge passion, and I didn't even know I really enjoyed it that much until COVID, like I talked about earlier, where I didn't have time to, or I didn't have the ability to play guitar at all. So I picked up video and photo, and dude, I love it. I love it so much. I nerd out like so hard on it. Yeah, I love it, and I love doing it with other musicians too. Like it's cool to like shoot live shows or like
for sure,
do album art or anything in between. So yeah, it's
that's sick, dude. That inspires me a lot actually, because yeah, it's been growing on me in the last year or so. I mean, we've talked about this. Like I started to work here in my town with photography projects, and I'm starting to build a portfolio and all that. And yeah, dude, like it's such a cool art. Like the time it gets also again to develop, and but it's such a cool concept art. I feel like my mind is like free when I'm making it. Right? I don't know if you ever felt like that. Like such a peaceful.
And by the way, your stuff is sick. You send me some of your work, and it's really good. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean, man. It's very like freeing. And what I like to do is like try and treat everything like film photography, where like instead of just blasting and praying a bunch of shots, like slow down, take a breath, kind of set up everything, your composition and stuff, and
that's right, man.
Get one shot. And yeah, there's something like cathartic about that, I think, where it's like it's very, like you said, freeing. It's like kind of slow down, and the whole process is really enjoyable. And yeah, it's cool, man. I'm glad you're getting into it. It's fun. It's a really, really cool medium for sure.
For sure, man. It's really fun. I say it was like a year, but it was more like I started to do it because I had this trip to my girlfriend's country, which is Honduras. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's
definitely
like in the middle. How do you call it? Like
Central America. Yeah, my wife took a trip down there a couple months ago. Loved it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a cool place,
dude. It's so dope. The food, the people. I love her family, like the people. It's so cool there. The places, dude. You gotta go there if you wanna. Like, there's so many mountains, and like they're really so close to you. Because I don't know how to explain it, but actually I don't know if you knew this, but the best coffee in the world, I believe, or I'll taste it. I've heard it's from there, dude.
Oh yeah, 100%. I would love to go.
The mountains, dude, they're so high, and I believe that's why the coffee turns out to be. Are you a coffee dude or?
Dude, I have had 6 cups today, 5 or 6. I am a caffeine addict, and I love coffee. So yeah, I would love to go down there and just overdose on coffee.
For sure, man. So yeah, photography. I was thinking with you, you're a musician. So how does that relate? Like from a musician perspective, how do you see photography? Like has it influenced your playing or the other way around?
That's an interesting question. I've never really thought about it like that. But yeah, I would say maybe not so much my playing, but like maybe my songwriting, or maybe I think it's impacted me of like the whole picture. Meaning, before, I never thought about the visual side at all. But in my opinion, like album artwork or videos or anything is just as much a representation of the song as the actual song, right? Because like if you're thumbing through, I don't know, Apple Music or Spotify or whatever, and you see album covers, like if you see a sick one, you're going to be like, oh, cool. I'm that or whatever. Same with a video, like, it kind of hooks you in. It's another way to support your music. And so I never thought about that beforehand. But I got such a huge appreciation for it now, being a photographer and learning about good composition and lighting and, color theory and all these different things that make up a good image.
Right.
Yeah, so I totally think it did change my approach on like the final product of putting something out there, like as the whole thing is like a piece of art, like everything included, like the art and the song and the video, it's like all one thing, you know? So
I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, that's why I asked you that, because I've felt like that in the last months. Like, I'm starting to compose, you know, getting to songwriting, and I'm feeling like when I'm composing, I'm thinking like in my head, like pictures, like get to my. I don't know if that ever happened to you. You're like, oh, that would be sick for a video. That would be sick for.
Dude, you know what's weird? I don't know. I've heard of some people doing this. I don't know if a lot of people do this. To like when I write, sometimes I'll put something, like I have two screens. So the one I'm looking at right now is like my DAW monitor where I do all my work. The one above it, I'll just throw something on that visually gives me the vibe of the song. So like I'll put on Planet Earth, like deep ocean stuff, or like
really,
and I won't have sound on, but just to, you know, set the mood.
Yeah, of
it
course.
could be something crazy. But yeah, I do that all the time now. And so now it's like, okay, what do I feel when I see this picture? You know, I don't know any music theory, but some people would be like, oh, it's this mode or this kind of feeling, whatever. And so I'm like, all right, I get this kind of feeling. How can I put this into my music that I'm about to write? It's just cool to have it like there while you're writing. So yeah, I definitely do the same thing. I'm like a very visual person. So I definitely have like a color or like feeling and like whatever.
Yeah.
I just, throughout the whole process of me writing the song, I'm like, okay, take a step back. Am I feeling what I felt when I sat down to write this? You know, that's still the message I'm like trying to put out there.
For sure, dude. I mean, that's such a great explanation for what I've been feeling. Yeah, that's crazy. That's super dope that you're sharing that with me, because yeah, I'm a visual person too, and yeah, it influences the way you think so much. So yeah, dude. Again, your lighting, great. What are you using for your lighting?
Well, this kind of looks like shit, I'm gonna be honest. But right now, I've got my second monitor is like a softbox. I just have a white background, blasting light, and then I've got a little rim light back here. It's $20 on Amazon. It's just like a spotlight. And then back there, I've got like a practical warm light that I think you can get at Best Buy for like $10. So right now, my whole setup is like $20 or something. But normally what I run is I've got a 90 centimeter softbox with a grid on it, and aperture 120D is my main like key light.
Yeah.
So I'll normally, if I'm facing the camera right now, I'll have the key light here, and I'll shoot on the shadow side of my face. So this will be lit up. This will be shadow side, and then I'll have this guy is my rim light. So this will be behind me, kind of creating this.
Oh yeah.
You see?
So you can get like the difference from the background.
Yeah, you get like separation from the background. And then, so I'm here, and then on this side to fill in the shadows a little bit, I've got a Nanlite tube light, 2 foot long tube light that you don't see on screen, but it kind of fills in this part. I don't have it going right now, but I have it at 5,600 Kelvin, and that kind of fills in this. And usually what I'll do, I wish I could, I don't know where it's at, but I've got a smaller one that you see in a lot of my videos.
Like the orange one, right?
Yeah, so that's like a practical light. Would that mean it's like in frame? And yeah, I have it at low output, but it normally just kind of backlights me a little bit. And I have it where the highlights are really bloomed. So that's kind of my normal like video setup for me. Now, if I'm on set or doing something with like a DP or something like that, way more moving parts, and you know, you might have like negative fill or stuff like that. But I try and keep it really simple for my own videos, just to make sure it's not like, I don't know, maybe it is too overdone, but like not too crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It's really thoughtful, like all you said, like you really know what you're doing here. Like I just love it. I'm trying to get into it. I know lighting it's really important. I mean, have these two soft boxes. I'm trying to get, settings, all technical stuff. I'm trying to get as
I will say, like, when you're used to lighting your space, once you've kind of done it enough, it kind of becomes like second nature, where like, kind of the rough settings, and you can just like, for each video, you can just kind of make small adjustments. But I know when you're first lighting a room, it's a little bit more tough. But yeah, like when I shoot a video, I would say it takes me 30 minutes to shoot the video and 3 hours to light it. Like,
really? Wow.
I'm obsessed, dude. I'm so
I've never thought of that.
Oh, I spend way more time on lighting, like just trying to get, the angle of the softbox perfect and the output and like everything balanced. And maybe it doesn't take me that long, but I definitely spend more time lighting and setting up the shot than actually like shooting the video.
For sure, man. That's crazy. Like, I mean, of course, I always knew that lighting is like one of the most important things when it comes to video and photo. But man, I've never thought like you would spend like that ratio of time. Talking about ratio, right? Like you also know your stuff about the, how is it called? Like, where you were talking like the ratio for.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's lighting ratios or contrast ratios or like there's a couple different terms. Yeah, but I mean, you always want to create contrast in the image and then like depth of field as well. And there's so many ways you can do that outside of just having a fast lens where like the background is blurry. That's one way. But then lighting a certain way where, like you said, you create that separation.
Yes.
And with contrast, there's color contrast. So like, this maybe isn't the best example, but like you have warm light here, there's a soft cool light here and one here. So you kind of have this cool and warm thing going on. I do that a lot in my videos too.
Yeah, I can see
like, it. Yeah, kind of like a warm light. Maybe I'll push the shadows a little blue to have color contrast. Yeah, it's like, I think that's really important on the visual side, is creating contrast. And it's not always like, oh, crank the contrast slider, right? It's like, I like doing as much in shot as I can, so that when I come and edit, it's like, I don't have to do very much. Like, if I send you a lot of my videos, just like the raw footage and into Rec 709, it looks really close to like the final.
Oh,
like I don't do very much.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's cool, bro. Yeah. So what about like lens? So what lens are you using right now?
So right now, well, the one I have right now is I just got this actually. It's a Sigma 20 millimeter f1.4. So it's pretty fast for a lot of lens. But my main lens that I use for all my videos, for like the main shot where you can see me in the studio, is it's a Sigma 35 f1.2. So it's crazy fast, and it's got this cool character to it when it's wide open. Like the edges kind of have this pincushion distortion a little bit, and like the bokeh cat's eyes. Like it's some people don't like it. I love it. I think it looks really cool. It's kind of like a vintagey kind of vibe.
Yeah, I love it too.
Yeah, and so that's my main. And then I just got this wide, so I've been using this for like wider shots. And then my other workhorse is I've got a Sigma 24-70 2.8, like really standard. But dude, that lens, like anytime somebody asked me, hey, if I could get one lens, what would you get? It would be that one. Like if you're on full frame.
Oh yeah.
It's so good. I know so many people that like have shot entire short films on it. We're like,
oh wow.
Oh, it's super solid, very versatile. So you get wide and telephoto 2 up to 70, and it's killer, man. So yeah, for me, those are kind of my main three. I have some other ones. I've got this Soviet Helios 44, which is like they use the new Batman movie. Couple shots, and like it's a really cheap lens, but it does the same thing my 35 does, but way more. So it swirls the outside when it's wide open.
Oh,
it's a really vibey lens. So I don't use it for like professional work that much, but for my own stuff, like I've been using it more. It's pretty cool. It's definitely like a vibey kind of deal.
Yeah.
That's my setup.
That sounds sick, man. Super sick. Yeah, I'm thinking about getting, I'm getting a new camera and new lens hopefully soon. So yeah, I would love to get into those Sigma Helios and all that. Like I would love, because that's what I've seen my favorite videographers are using right now. So that's super cool. So we've talked about all these things, but what about the camera? I saw you were using the Fujifilm. I believe the X-T4 or something like that, right?
Yeah. So yeah, backing up just a little bit, in my mind,
Yeah.
the way I think of it is like the hierarchy of what's important of an image. I think it's lighting at the top.
Okay.
And then lens second, probably. And then cameras like down here. Like, as far as what really affects the image. But yeah, I was on Fuji for a long time for both photo and video. And I love Fuji. The colors are incredible. But last year, I moved over to the Sony A7 IV and just for video, and then like some professional photography stuff, just because it has a bigger sensor. My current setup right now is like I have the Sony A7 IV for all my video, and then my Fuji X-T3 actually is for like most photo stuff. Like if I'm on a trip or just for fun. It's been a cool run and gun setup because like this is mostly dedicated to video, and then the Fuji's like mostly photo.
Right, that's smart. That's a smart move.
Well, I got lucky because I sold my Fuji and I was just on Sony, and it was really cool. But like on the photo side, I definitely missed having just like the film simulations and the vibe and all that kind of stuff. And so I was like, I really want to get one. And this dude was selling one like in my neighborhood for like dirt cheap, like stupid cheap. And I was like, I got to do it. So I picked it up secondhand, and I treat that one like a film camera. So like, it's interchangeable lens, but I just keep one on there always. And I have the same settings, and it's just like same film settings. And I just treat it like a film camera, which is
like a point shoot or kind of.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's super interesting. That's so dope. I would love to try that because I mean that's how I feel with this camera. That's what I've done. Like every time I'm on a trip, I was just use like the same setting because this style, or if I wanted like like this, how much separation from the background, because I don't know if you've done this, but with 3 pictures, like you would change like the separation from the background because you want the whole picture, right? But you want like a subject too. That's really cool.
Yeah. What camera are you on right now, by the way?
So I'm using a Sony A5100. Yeah.
Oh, nice, dude. Yeah. To be honest, like anything Sony has made in the past, I don't know, 7 years or something, it's killer. Like any model you get is going to be really solid.
For sure.
What are you going to upgrade to? Do you know yet?
So I've got used to Sony, so I'm probably going with other Sony camera, maybe upper range, because I believe this was like a model before they did the A6000, right? Like that line. Yep. So I'll probably go for more professional Sony camera.
Nice, man. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I got used to it like super quick, and I feel that helped. And most of the creators that I follow also use Sony. So
dude, it's kind of like your choice of DAW. Like flipping back to the musician side, but like no one DAW is like better inherently than the other brand, like Pro Tools, Cubase, Logic, whatever. It's the same with cameras. It's like they all have their own strengths and weaknesses, but it's true. At the end of the day, it's like, what are you most comfortable with, and what can you create with the easiest? So yeah, if you're Sony, like ride Sony out. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I think that's sick, dude. That's dope.
Yeah, that's a great example with the DAW. Because I don't know you, but I've changed DAW like 3 times, I believe. I started with Reaper.
Nice.
Yeah, I love Reaper. Maybe not the best UI. I think that would be like my only concern.
Yeah,
I'll be your
Reaper's cool. I kind of had the same feeling. I think for me, it was like you can do anything. It's crazy, and you can customize it, whatever. But like,
it's super great.
For me, it was like it wasn't my favorite UI. I kind of agree with that. And I actually started, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but I started on Reason, which is like an EDM DAW. It's not even made to really, or it wasn't when I started.
I've read about it.
Yeah, it's really cool. But I was on that for like 8 years. I mean, that's when I was a teenager. I had like the first copy of it or something like that. And to record guitar in it, I would get it through Audacity,
Oh my God.
do the whole thing and try and line it up as like a sample and Reason sampler. It was like,
Oh,
it was so stupid. And finally they made it where you could like record audio into Reason. And
Yeah.
then, you know, maybe 6 years ago, I switched to Cubase because I was like, okay, you know, if I'm going to be in this, I should probably learn how to like really mix
For sure.
that kind of stuff. But I use both now. I use Reason for like 90%, or I'm sorry, Cubase for 90% of everything. And then
Okay.
I use Reason as like a slave just for sound design. Like I love their synths and stuff. So I'll do sound design there, balance it, do everything in Cubase.
That's dope, man. Yeah. Yeah, so that's really cool. I would love to try Cubase too. So like I said, I started with Reaper, right? But like I didn't like UI, you know, I was not. Then I moved to Logic because I started to use Mac, and it was like cool, but still it wasn't for me, you know. So then my dad uses my dad friends, my teacher, a lot of people I know use like Ableton.
Oh,
So I started to.
killer. I love it.
It's super dope. I love Ableton, so that's what I've been using for the past months. I really sucker for this stuff. Yeah, really creative.
I messed up because I was on Ableton, I want to say like 10 years ago, for a little bit. And at least back then, the way that everything was set up was pretty different than most DAWs in a cool way. But like, I just remember being frustrated at first because it's like, I don't really know how to do this thing that I've always done. And
Yeah.
so I ended up ditching it. But like in hindsight, it's such a powerful songwriting tool. It's one of the best. It's so sick. That's what we
I love
do.
it.
When we're on tour, all our live sessions are in Ableton. Like
Oh yeah,
in Ableton.
that too.
It's really cool. So wait, you said your dad uses it. Is your dad a
Yeah.
musician too?
Yeah, my dad is
Sick.
pianist or piano player. I'm not sure how's the term.
Yeah, that's right. Pianist. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
It just sounds weird.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
A pianist. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. But yeah, so my dad is a musician, and I mean that's what actually got me into music. Like since I was a kid, you know, my dad would play like jazz, R&B, gospel. So, you know, I would have all these influences. I would say of course they're not my favorite genre. You can tell. Like, but they definitely like shaped my way of approaching, you know, melodies. I do a lot of harmonies in my mind when I'm listening to songs.
Yeah.
And I believe he really I'm not say forced, but he like got it to my so he's a great player. He's an amazing player. I would love you for you to see him play. He's just crazy. And yeah, I believe your childhood can define a lot of things when it comes to creative outlet.
Dude, definitely. And that's cool. It sounds like we had a similar upbringing of having supportive parents, one, in music, but two, that also played. Yeah, that's killer. And it sounds like you were exposed to a lot of really good music early on, which is like a game changer for sure.
Yeah, for sure, man. So yeah, how was your childhood? Just talking about this, like,
just like in general. Now we're getting deep. I like it.
Yeah. No, I was going to start with it, but I was like, that's too hard. I need to put something.
I feel like I'm in therapy right now.
Yeah.
No, dude, it was awesome. It was, you know, we grew up, how do I say this? We were really blessed in a lot of different ways, but a lot of times we were struggling financially. And so my parents are like the best, most supportive people in the world. But I remember there would be times when we'd be doing really good, or like times when things were pretty rough.
Yeah.
But they were just the best the entire time. And so, yeah, I don't know. They, you know, sometimes when they couldn't provide a lot of other things, they would, you know, we'd focus on music or going to shows or doing whatever. So like, we always had fun, and it never felt like we were really struggling, you know, sometimes. And
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, and it's cool because, you know, now they're in a great place, and I've been really blessed, and I'm kind of glad that we had that sort of upbringing. Nothing wrong with the other side of it. I think I just learned a lot of lessons early on, like we talked about earlier, how to problem solve, how to
for sure
fix things, how to make things last, how to, you know, not always buy new stuff, but like fix what you have, kind of thing. So yeah, it was cool. But as far as the music side, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better childhood. It's kind of a weird story, but I don't know if you know JH Audio. They make in-ears. They're like top line in-ears.
Yeah, I think I've heard. Yeah, for sure.
So JH is for Jerry Harvey, and Jerry Harvey's my godfather, actually. He and my dad were best friends in high school, like growing up, and did roadie stuff together. So like my childhood, I was around those guys, and he was like running sound for Van Halen and like all these crazy bands. So I was just like 9 or 10 years old in the green room. I'm sure I was pissing off a bunch of rock star people or whatever running around, you know. And so yeah, that was just like my upbringing of just always being around shows or music, and I'm super grateful for that. But it definitely, you know, you talked about it earlier about your childhood shaping your music and anything like that. 100%. You know, it's like the only reason I'm doing any of the stuff I am today is because I was around that when I was growing up, for sure.
Wow, that's amazing, man. That's awesome. I really love that. And yeah, man, that's super funny. Like you're running like a bunch of rock stars.
Oh, dude, I'm sure I was such a little shithead. Me and my little brother, he's like 2 years younger than me or whatever. Oh my God, they would just turn us loose, and we would run backstage, and like, you know, if you're on tour and that's your time to relax, right? You're in the green room, you're chilling. The last thing you want is 2 little shithead kids with bowl cuts running around throwing shit. Oh, dude, I had the gnarliest bowl cut, and I was just a little menace. And so, yeah, I feel bad now, you know, having, you know, being that person now, or not that person, but just being on tour and having that time where it's like, okay, this is the time to chill. And just knowing that when I was a kid, I was just like ruining some people's days. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's kids. Like,
yeah, it is what it is. I didn't do this.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh God, dude. So wow, Van Halen. Like talk about him. So EVH stuff, right? Like, have you tried them out? Like,
oh yeah,
I've heard like really great things about it.
Yeah, my favorite amp that I've ever played or owned is right over here. It's a EVH 5153, 100 watt, and I've got a biased mod on it. But it's killer. And like, I mean, obviously the OG 5150, right? Like that's like, you think of a high gain
for sure
rock or metal tone, it's like, it's normally that, or like a boosted guitar signal into that. And so, I mean, yeah, I think I say we as like guitar players to, you know, owe so much to Van Halen and like everything he did, and like obviously a ton of other people, but I just, between his playing and the gear and the way that like after he came on the scene, everybody started like throwing in tapping, these like different things, you know what I mean? And then, it's cool. And of course, you know, being a kid where my godfather Jerry was like doing sound or whatever, and like just being around that was like crazy. And he did stuff for like Steve Vai, I think, a long time ago, or something like that. And so that's another one. I saw like, you know, the OG Jim, like the white one. I love the white one. And dude, as a kid, I was like, yep, that's it. I want to play Ibanez for the rest of my life. And like, that's like, it's crazy, man. So
right, man. You still have like Ibanez guitars, right?
Yeah. So I don't know when this is gonna come out, but I think I can go ahead and talk about it. We'll see. I actually recently signed with Ibanez full time like 2 months ago, and I don't know why I did a thumbs up. That was to it. Yeah, thumbs up for that.
Thumbs up for that.
But yeah, that's like the only thing I've ever wanted to do in music is like, because of what I just talked about. Yeah, thumbs up again. Let's go. Is to sign with Ibanez, and we're doing a really cool custom RG build. I'll send you pictures after this, but I don't know if you know the brand Iconic. That's who I was.
Yeah, for sure.
Amazing people, amazing builders. We worked something out where Ibanez is sending me a 27-inch RG, and then we're having the guys at Iconic refinish it.
Oh my God.
It's almost done. I'm picking it up hopefully next week. But
dude,
my next,
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I'll send you some pictures. But my next single and a couple things I have coming up are going to be like unveiling that, you know, I have this guitar and sign with them and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, just drop that bomb. I haven't really told anybody, but
Oh God,
yeah,
I'm
pretty stoked,
honored.
man.
That's so, man. That's wonderful, man. I love Ibanez too. Like that's one of the brands that I'm looking into since kid. And yeah, when I saw that that you were playing like iconic guitars, man, they're beautiful. God, that black 6 string you have, like it's actually close to mine. Like
Very
you have
close. Yeah.
you have like
Yeah.
like a single core or like
Yeah. I've got a Seymour Duncan telly in the neck, which
yeah,
is
Tchoï.
cool. But yeah, dude, it looks very, very similar to that one. And I love that guitar. Yeah, really cool. The Ibanez that we're doing is like, I'll have to show you, but it's basically the flip side of what I did on that iconic, which is really cool. And likewise for Ibanez, I mean, talking to those guys over the past couple of years and now working with them, I mean, just the best people. Like they're Tyler, the rep there, and all the guys are just like incredible and have been so cool to work with. So I've just been really blessed with like nice, cool companies that do the coolest shit. And I'm just lucky to get to work with both of them. So it's been awesome.
That's super dope, man. Also, I saw you broke the neck of your...
Hold up, one sec. Let me show you.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, check this shit out.
I just don't have it.
Oh, of course, I'm gonna hang this up somewhere. I don't know if it's gonna go up there, but
yeah, for sure I will too. That's cool.
Nah, dude, it was so unfortunate. So they like Iconic built me this crazy sick guitar right before I left for tour, and it was gonna be like my main guitar on tour, and it lasted the entire U.S. run that we did. And like the second to last show, I think we were in Seattle, Portland, one of the two. It's like best show of the tour. It was insane. We like,
really?
We had these like stage mannequins that were like props, and we like crowd surfed them and like threw all the shit in the crowd. And it was such a sick show. But the last song we did a encore, and like I think I hit the last note and I did like a crazy spin or something, and just completely snapped the headstock off.
Oh God,
sucks. But I mean, going back to how amazing those guys are, I literally called up Kevin, the owner of Iconic, and I was like, hey, we're playing in LA or San Diego or somewhere like in the next 2 days. It's a stretch. To like, is there any way you can fix this? Or like, do you have just a replacement neck that'll get me through the Europe tour? And these guys in 2 days stopped what they were doing and like made me a whole new neck, put it on. Like I ran through the shop, put it on in time for sound check that same day, and was good to go. And it lasted all the Europe. It was like, I mean, insane. So they're like, when I say they're the best people, I mean, literally they're like the best people. It's crazy.
Super funny story, but yeah, man, that's one of those things, those moments that really tell you like how good a brand can be, and the team. I just love those guitars, man. I would love to try one day. When I hope I see them on NAMM one day and play one of those beautiful guitars.
Oh, you should, man. They're sick, and yeah, same with the Ibanez. They have a lot of really cool stuff coming out, and yeah, they've also been just incredible too. Of just even like, I asked for some kind of crazy stuff. I was like, I don't know if you guys can do this or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, kind of, and they were like, oh yeah, dude, Tyler's just the best. He was like, yeah, I got you, and they've been super supportive too. So yeah, it's just both of them are incredible, and just could not be more thankful.
Oh, that's great, man. So I wanted to play this little game with you, which is like this or that.
Oh, let's go. All right. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. So let's go with music. So riff or solo?
Oh, riff all day.
Solo or breakdown?
Breakdown.
Oh,
that was close though. I do love a good
metalcore. Metalcore or gent?
Oh, metalcore. Yeah, for sure.
Metallica or Megadeth?
Oh, Metallica all day. I've never been a huge Megadeth fan. Now, granted, I love everybody that's played in Megadeth. I love Megadeth.
Yeah.
But Metallica all day, Hetfield is king.
I feel the same, bro.
Yeah.
I feel the same.
I'm gonna get crucified for that. I know.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
The Beatles or the Rolling Stones?
Stones. Never been a huge Beatles fan, which is weird. But I feel like if I sat down to listen to them, I would really enjoy them. I've just never really had. So Stones.
I feel you, man. I feel you that. Killswitch Engage for As I Lay Dying.
Oh, don't do that to me, dude. Tim and I are such good. Like, I love Tim. He's awesome. I can't. I don't know, dude. I don't know about that. I love Killswitch though.
I know.
Is all right.
I put a lot of thought into that question.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think early on, I probably need to go Killswitch. Just as far as like as many riffs as I've learned.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong. As I Lay Dying was like one of my favorite bands growing up. But like, I gotta give it a Killswitch as far as like the influence the guitars had on me and all that
I
stuff.
feel that too. Yeah, I feel that too. I have lots
saying that.
for sure, man. I have lots of influence from Killswitch, and yeah, man. So for Killswitch, I would say that I will have like more of the melody, harmony side, and from As I Lay Dying, yeah, we'll have like the more riffs and rhythmic side.
That's a good way of saying it. Let's go with that. Let's go melody for Killswitch and then riff for As I Lay Dying, even though it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, next question.
Okay, so let's go with food.
Okay.
So pizza or pasta?
Pizza for sure.
Okay. Coffee or tea?
Oh, coffee all day.
Mexican or Chinese?
Mexican, dude. I live in Texas. Tex-Mex.
Oh, okay. Spicy or milk?
What was it? Spicy or milk?
Or mild? Is it mild?
Oh, mild.
I'm sorry, my
you're good.
fucking pronunciation.
I thought you said spicy or milk, and I was like, I don't know. Dude, I gotta go with mild. I do love spicy food, but I'm also like so white. Like, I mean, look at me, dude. I'm the whitest person, so I gotta go mild on that one.
So sweet or savory?
Savory. I'm not a big sweet guy.
Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate all day.
Ice cream or cake?
Ooh, ice cream. Yeah, same. I'm not like a huge cake guy. I love ice cream.
So movies or books?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I love movies. I do love books too, but I like movies because like now when I see a movie, I'm like thinking of the cinematography and the blocking and
for sure.
So I gotta go movie.
Cat or dog?
Oh, dogs. Dogs all day. I'm actually allergic to cats. Cats are cool.
Oh,
but dogs way better for sure.
I think it's dumb to ask this, but I will. Summer or winter?
Oh, winter. I'm a cold weather type of dude. Like I said, I am so white. So like I like the cold. I was built for it. Let's go for this shit. So of course, I like cold way better. So winter.
For sure. I mean, also Texas, like
yeah, we get like 2 months of winter, maybe. The rest of the year is just like scorching.
Morning or evening?
Oh, evening. Dude, I am the least morning person you will ever meet.
I hate morning.
Yeah, same. I normally stay up till like 3 every night minimum. So definitely an evening person.
So before you go, I wanted to ask you, I like to do this you've seen with other guests, which is person you think would be a cool guest for the next episode.
Okay, so 2 of my really high picks you've already done. Like Raoul would have been so high up there. Same with Clint. Like both those guys are incredible. I would say Spiro Ducius on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's like the freakiest guitar player I've ever seen in my life. But I feel like a lot of people don't know that he's also like an incredible engineer, producer, songwriter. So like I think it'd be cool to have him on and kind of, I mean, talk about guitar playing for sure, but like maybe ask questions about that side too, because I feel like he's so talented in that area and has really cool ways of thinking. And, I don't think he gets to talk about it enough. So that would be sick. Another person I think would be really cool is my homie Baxty on Instagram, a sick shredder. I know you've seen his video.
Oh, yeah.
But he's probably insane. He's so sick. He's really good. I think having him on here would be cool. Yeah, now you know what I'm talking.
I know what you're talking. The one with the harp. Yeah, I know.
He's killer. I think having him on here would be really interesting to hear how he approaches guitar and songwriting in general.
Yeah, for sure.
He's a good one. Steven Taranto, like obviously in the same line as that, he's an incredible songwriter as well. I think he would be really interesting to have on here. I'm trying to think of. Hold on, I think I made a note on this actually.
Oh, really?
Okay. One more. I mean, I've got a ton. I could just name drop a lot of
Name
friends.
whoever you feel. Name your whole follower.
Yeah, I'll just name everybody. I think another person that would be really interesting is my buddy Nick Broomhall. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So
I love him. I've been following him for a long time, and it's great.
oh, he's killer. But
Composition wise, man.
yeah, and riffs for days. But I think it'd be interesting to touch on maybe like how he's able to have kind of Raoul situation where like he has a very high output, all of it's great. You
All
know,
right,
he's always putting stuff out and he's very consistent.
right.
Yeah, I think he'd be very interesting to hear on the show. Trying to think if there's anybody else off the top of my head. Those would probably be my main like 3 or 4. I think that I would love to see, and then maybe next time you ask me, I'll have some others. I've got more people, but maybe I'll save that
Okay.
for next episode.
Oh yeah, man, that's great. Yeah, you've named really cool people that I would love to get on here. There's so many great players out there, and God, man, this talk has been amazing. I'm speechless. Like, you're one of my heroes.
Oh, thanks.
To know.
Thanks. Really appreciate you having me on, and it's cool to hear that we have like very similar background, even though we grew up in totally different parts of the world. And
Sure.
it's cool, man. It's been nice talking to you about music and photography and everything in between.
For
Really
sure, man.
appreciate you having me on, and it's cool to see you kind of pick up photography and get more into like composition and stuff. So I'm really stoked to see all the stuff you put out this year.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. That means so much to me. And yeah, so 3rd episode with Clayton King. Thanks for coming.
Oh yeah,
Go.
thanks for having me.